YouTube. I'm making cupcakes. They're double fudge dark chocolate chip cream cheese frosting cupcakes, and they are fantastic. First time I made them, I actually used the wrong recipe, and it turned out to be so much better than the original recipe. And I've made them twice since then, and every time I bring them to my friends and my coworkers, and they're like gone within a day. Usually I don't even like to eat what I bake, but this stuff is just so good. So I end up eating a lot of it myself too. These cupcakes are easy to make. They're from a box, so they're not as authentic as I would usually like, but the box mixes are incredibly cheap, and it makes it a lot easier to share with other people. So if you don't like boxes, then don't make these cupcakes. But if you don't mind the boxes and you want some delicious, delicious cupcakes, then by all means, follow me. Now, usually I make fantastic lemon cupcakes, but today I'm going to make the chocolate kind. I use super moist Betty Crocker milk chocolate box. But the trick is the ingredients on the back that I'm using are from the lemon box. It was actually a mistake I made when I was making both lemon and chocolate chip at the same time. I was reading off the lemon box, and I didn't realize it was different from the chocolate box. But reading off the lemon box actually made it come out super moist and delicious. So I'm going to use that. This is my workspace. The three things you always need for these box cakes is water, vegetable oil, and eggs. Got my vegetable oil, 3 eggs, big cream mixing bowl, and water. You're also going to need dark chocolate chips and also semi-sweet chocolate chips, or just any kind of chocolate chips that you like. You could even use white chocolate chips, or little pieces of candy, or M&Ms, or little chunks of chocolate. These are just basically going to be my garnish for the top. For your frosting, you're going to need cream cheese and butter, as well as massive amounts of powdered sugar, or confectioner's sugar, and vanilla. I'm using cupcake paper liners. And I also have a piping bag. This will help with my frosting. First thing we're going to do, take our cake mix and mix it together with the oil and the eggs. Put this bag. Oh shit. Maybe someday I'll teach you how to crack eggs without breaking the yolk. Because I am damn good at that. So remember, vegetable oil and the water, we're using the stuff on the back of the lemon box. And it's going to be 1 cup of water and half a cup of vegetable oil. Now I need something to mix it with. Alrighty.
You took 2 ice creams and that's what you did?
I'm going to show everybody what you did for me. Darren went to the store and got me 2 of these. I'm in a chocolate mood today and he got me 2 of these. Deliciousness. Okay. Back to mixing. Stabbing the yolks to break them up. And stabbing the yolks Now mix in. Look how beautiful it is. I spill it all over the floor. Now that is all mixed up, I should probably preheat my oven. 325 for a dark non-stick pan. Now that the batter's all mixed up is when you add the dark chocolate chips. Now the fun part about this is you can add how many chocolate chips you want because it's your cupcakes. You could add more or less. Oh my god, that's delicious looking. Now we mix it up. Just mix that all to shit. These aren't the mini chocolate chips. Mini chocolate chips might mix a little bit better with your cupcakes, so if you want to use those, then yeah, do it. Now we get to fill up my cupcake pan. I'm using these pretty little flower ones because they're lovely and pretty. To scoop out my batter, I'm just using a regular measuring cup because I don't have an ice cream scoop. Besides, my batter's probably a little bit too watery for an ice cream scoop to work. And this way I can make sure that I get chocolate chips. You only have to fill up your cups about halfway to 3/4 of the way. Depending on how much you put in there, it's going to rise up and spill over the edges. So try to avoid putting more than 3/4 in. Now that my cupcakes are all panned up, they're gonna go into the oven. The cooking time it gives you is for 24 cupcakes. My pan is a 12 cupcake pan. So while it says 18 to 23 minutes here, what I'm going to do is go by 12 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna add on time. While my cupcakes are baking, I'm gonna work on the frosting. I just used a simple recipe I found off the internet. What you're going to need is half a cup or 1 stick of butter, really, 8 ounces of cream cheese, which is either 1 package of those little tinfoily looking cream cheese packages, pretty much just like the butter, or if you're scooping it out of a 16-ounce thingy like this, just go by the ounces like this. I'm going to use about half of this, 2 to 3 cups of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or any type of vanilla that you have, because whatever you have, be it better quality vanilla than this or just this, it's going to be pretty good. The instructions for this, pretty much just mix up all your shit. What I usually do with the butter and the cream cheese is I soften it in the microwave by putting them both into a little microwave safe bowl and putting it in for 15 to 30 seconds, because usually my cream cheese is pretty thick and I can only mix by hand. I don't have a mixer, an electric mixer or a hand mixer or any of that, or even one that you crank. I don't have that. So yeah, I'm just gonna soften my stuff up in the microwave right now. The cream cheese is slightly more thick and solid than my butter right now. My butter's at room temperature, so it's pretty squishy. So I'm going to put this in for a little bit longer than I would the butter. Doesn't that look delicious? to add my butters. Make it a little bit easier to mix up. Teaspoon of vanilla. Mix, 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 mix. Mix, 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 mix. Oh god, it's in your hair. Nice and delicious and creamy. You may be wondering why I use such a huge bowl for this. Well, it's because we're about to add the powdered sugar! Powdered sugar! Messy. 1 cup of powdered sugar. 2 cups of powdered sugar. Mix, 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 mix. You want to mix it now because the wet ingredients will grab onto that powdered sugar and pull it down before it starts to explode out everywhere. Like that. I can taste the powdered sugar. It'll float up into your mouth. It wants to be eaten. Last cup of powdered sugar. Keeping my distance because it explodes everywhere. Ah. Mix, 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 mix. Mixing powdered sugar, freak yeah. God, I love gin noodles. Oh, sticky delicious. You want to keep mixing until all those chunks are gone. You don't see any leftover, don't see any leftover butter. And you get this kind of sticky, gooey, delicious slop of awesome. The cool part about your frosting is you can add more of anything you want to make it taste better. Now that that's done, I'm going to put it in the fridge to stiffen it up a bit until the cupcakes are done. I know what that means. That means it's time to check our cupcakes. Oh, they look lovely. I can already tell that these are quite done. Now let's take this. Let's take a look. Ooh, delicious. But you can tell that some of the inner workings are still kind of moist. Now, does anybody know the test for if cupcakes or cakes are done? What you do is you take a fork or a toothpick and you insert it into the middle of the cupcake, and if it pulls out mostly clean and dry, then your cupcakes are pretty much done. I'm going to do the test now as an example. Now I stuck this into one that looked pretty much dry and done, but you can see there's still a little bit of stuff coming out with my fork. So they're going to go in for, I'd say, 2 to 3 more minutes. These are looking more appropriate. Test. Definitely coming out pretty good. Look at that. Completely clean. And I put it right in the center of that big fucker right there.